Life is perfectly unpredictable, unexplainable, and often really messy. What I've learned is that we have the opportunity at all times to choose to align or to choose to fight or resist life. And for much of my life, I've resisted and I've fought and I've struggled. And the turning point for me came during a very messy divorce that I had many years ago. And super attached to the relationship. My husband at the time was also my teaching partner, my business partner, my beloved. Our lives were very, very entwined. And so when that relationship ended, I did not let go easily. I held on so strongly. And there was a moment in my life where I recognized that I had a choice. I was standing in the kitchen where we used to live together and feeling all of this pain and realizing how much I'd been beating myself up. The question I've been asking myself over and over again is, what did I do wrong? What should I have done? And I was creating more and more pain for myself. And as I recognized that, I made a commitment to myself. 2 commitments. The first commitment, don't look back. I made the agreement that what had happened, period. And that if I kept looking back and punishing myself, I was going to suffer a lot going forward. But if I made this line with myself, don't go back, just stay with yourself, that later I'd figure out what happened. For now, I just had to come back to myself. And in that moment, I said, hi, sweetheart. Okay, I'm back. The second thing I did in that moment is I made the agreement to stop abandoning myself. That regardless of how messy, how complicated, how much I needed to go through to heal, I was willing to be on the journey with myself, to stay with where I was in the moment rather than where I thought I should be. And that in relationship with life, I was willing to show up with what life was bringing rather than what I thought life should be bringing. And here's what I've learned. As we travel the pathway of our life, we often set intent or have goals or have a focus of, here's where I want to go. And one way to think about it is, remember the olden days where there were those things called maps, and you would unfold the map if you got lost up on your dashboard. The first thing that you did when you were lost is ask yourself, where am I? You get super clear about where you were. The second question, where am I going? And then you would figure out what the route was. So often, instead of asking the question and being honest, where am I? What do I need now? We say, this shouldn't be happening. I should be in a different place. I should be a different person. We're not aligning with ourselves or with life. And here's, I think, how life plays with us. We say, hey, I want this, and we're planting a seed in the universe. We plant that seed of, I want more love in my life. I want more peace in my life. I want more community. Boom. And the universe says, awesome. Here's the support. Here's the synchronicity. Here's the guidance of how to get towards that thing. But what most of us don't realize is what also happens simultaneously is obstacles pop up. So I want to go there. And my thought is, once I know what I want, it should just be a straight line. It should just be a simple straight line. But life doesn't work that way. Often there's bumps in the road, there's detours, there's things that we didn't expect were going to happen that show up. And it's not that we're doing it wrong. When obstacles arise, I believe it's the universe going, awesome, you want that thing? Clean this up. Because there's something in the way between where we are now and where we're going. And that is the agreements, the beliefs, the old things that we're carrying from the past. And it's like the universe is saying, clean your closet. Imagine if you had a closet that you shoved everything that you didn't know what to do with into that closet. So all of the fears you had, all of the unprocessed trauma, all of the emotions that you didn't know how to deal with, go into the closet and you shut the door. And one day you realize, I need to clean that closet. I need to create more space in my life. The first thing you need to do to clean out that closet is open the door and start to pull everything out. That's where we mostly get stuck, is now everything is laying all over our room and we feel overwhelmed. We feel chaotic. We start looking out the window going, well, she doesn't have as much stuff as I do. What's wrong? What's wrong with me? But all that's happening is we're bringing up stuff to be cleaned, to be cleared. And once we have it out in front of us, we can start sorting what's mine to keep, what doesn't fit me any longer, what did somebody give me that I felt obligated to hold on to, but I really don't need to. That's the process of sorting. And that's what our obstacles bring us, is that opportunity to go, hey, clean this up. We need to cultivate two qualities in our cleaning. And we can think about it as the masculine and the feminine. A lot of us have heard of this idea, we need to balance our masculine and feminine. I look at it a little bit differently. I call these two energies warrior energy and goddess energy. And this isn't about gender. This is about qualities that are useful for us as we move through our obstacles, as we learn to be in relationship with those obstacles. So warrior energy is this. It's our clarity. It's our focus. It's our 100% commitment. I'm going no matter what. Okay. Goddess energy is this. It's about receptivity and creativity and flow. Okay, these two beautiful different energies. What most of us do when we hit an obstacle is we either go into excess warrior, which is I'm going to push, I'm going to force my way through the obstacle, I'm going to put my head down and make it happen. And we go against ourselves. We often end up abandoning ourselves because we are using too much force. Or we have a deficiency of warrior, which is, oh, well, I guess I didn't really want to go there anyway. And we get distracted. Or we have an excess of goddess, which is, oh, it's all fine anyway. I'll just figure something else out. And we don't stay clear. We don't stay present with ourselves. We drift. We spiritually bypass. Or we have a deficiency of goddess energy, which I think about as victim or empowered victim, which is the world is always against me. It's not fair. And we let go of our goals. Or empowered victim. It's your fault this isn't working. I've been victimized. I'm now going to punish you around it and make it all your fault. Okay? Empowered victim. So we need to clean up the force, the judgment, the making ourselves wrong, the victimization, to come back into right here. To balance those two energies, not 50% warrior, 50% goddess. But to find how much warrior do I need to bring in? How much clarity, focus? How much goddess do I need to bring in? Do I need to bring in more creativity? Do I need to be receptive? Do I need to get quiet? Do I need to listen more? How do we cultivate these qualities inside of us so that we become more resilient, more present, that we're able to stay clear with where we're going, and then dance our way there, realizing obstacles are opportunities for healing, opportunities for clarification, opportunities for showing up to check, is that where I want to go? And if that is where you want to go, there's this balance of presence and letting go, presence and letting go. And this is true in all things, whether it's internal change that you're navigating, like you know that you want to shift something inside of yourself, you want to be more loving, you want to be more present, or it's an external change. Something has changed quickly in your life, a divorce, a pandemic, perhaps, a unexpected thing, a loss of a job, where you're feeling that sense of wobble, you're feeling that sense of, I don't want life to be this way. This isn't what I signed up for. This isn't okay with me. To understand that the more that we can show up with what is without punishing ourselves or without feeling victimized. We're going to have those feelings, but to learn how to hold, like, okay, my victim is lit up. And then to slow down and to say, where am I going? What's my intent? You then drop into your being in a completely different way. And when the obstacle arises, you're able to then say, okay, you are a worthy obstacle. Because here's what obstacles do. There's a great story of the biosphere. In the 70s in Arizona, a group of scientists got together and they crafted an environment that was completely enclosed. And over a couple years, the trees grew really, really fast and they were really excited. And then about 2 years into the experiment, all the trees fell over. And when they opened up the biosphere later and they said, what happened to the trees? What they learned is that trees need wind to stabilize. That's what creates strong, rooted, resilient trees. And I believe it's the same thing with humans. We don't want to be praying to have easy, simple lives. You also don't need to pray to have a complicated, difficult life, because the obstacles are going to come to you. And if you can receive those obstacles as an opportunity, the wind is here. How do I use this obstacle to benefit me, to get stronger, to get more clarity, to get more focused, to get more loving, to show up with life? As we clean out believing or thinking life should be this way, we stay clear about what we want. But when we surrender into what is right now and what do I want, that space opens to allow us to have more creativity, more purpose, more effectiveness as we move towards our goals. That we balance, I know where I'm going, what's happening. That we don't use our obstacles to punish ourselves, to blame others, but to be super clear in what's my next step? How can I be effective, completely effective in this moment and bring my energy, even if I don't like what's happening? So as we move forward on this journey of life, remember your choice in every moment is to learn how to use the obstacles to strengthen you and to enjoy the journey. We need both. And the last piece that I'll leave you with, one of my favorite metaphors, is the idea of a heat-seeking missile. A heat-seeking missile knows where it's at, and it knows where it's going, okay? It knows where it's at, it knows where it's going. But it doesn't do this to get where it's going. It does this. It's constantly changing course. Adjust, adjust, adjust. And when we learn to use the obstacles of like, oh, course correction, adjust slightly, adjust slightly, adjust slightly, we can get where we're going more quickly, less painfully, and with more love in our hearts as we shift this paradigm, as we sow new seeds, as we grow into our possibility, open to our intuition, and learn how to love even more fully. Here we go. Let's learn and practice and explore and experiment and be curious about how we can best align with life, even when we don't like what life is showing us or bringing us in the moment. Soon we can fall in love with even the most difficult obstacles.